Hello students, very good afternoon to all of you. And now today we are going to continue our previous chapter. What was the previous chapter? The previous chapter that we were discussing was globalization. Let me change my pen so that it is much more visible for you. Globalization and its impact on Indian society Now, what we did yesterday, first of all, we developed our understanding about what is our globalization, how globalization happened, and how globalization is impacting Indian society. Under this, we have discussed what is the impact of globalization on our social institutions such as marriage, family, right? Marriage, family, and etc. Now we'll continue this discussion today also in our class, right? Now let us start. Today I want to bring another important aspect of society which globalization has created an impact. Yeah, it is here. As we have discussed that how globalization has impacted our marriage institution. From joint family, we are moving towards nuclear family. Now there is a new phenomena coming up in metropolitan cities of India, that is live-in relationships. Also we have discussed. We have also discussed about religion. I think we have discussed religion or not. Now let us start with religion. Okay, I think we have discussed religion here, right? Let's move on. Media we have discussed, print media, electronic media. Now another important aspect that I want to discuss with you is the new, that is your social media. Social media. What is the impact? Because you see, you need to analyze all the sectors of society and how globalization is making an impact on it. Therefore, I will go one by one. You see, now I want to discuss with you social media. Write it down. First of all, what constitutes social media? Social media is your Facebook, your Twitter accounts, your Instagram. I would include WhatsApp also here. WhatsApp, right? These are the components of social media. These are the components of social media, and social media has created a revolution in the way we communicate and share our feelings, right? The way we communicate and share our feelings. And there is a possibility that UPSC may ask you a question about impact of globalization on social media. They may ask you this question, right? So you see, first of all, you need to understand what is a social media. Social media is basically a digital technology. What is social media? Social media is basically a digital technology It is a digital technology in which users are able to create and share their content, their information, their pics. They can express their self, and they can participate among each other and creating a social networking right? So please write it down. Social media is a digital technology that allows people to share ideas, opinions and information through online networks and communities. We have coffee without sugar. Therefore, what is a social media? Social media is basically a digital technology that allows people to share their ideas, opinions, information through online networks, right? And communities. People use web-based software or apps. People use web-based software or apps or smartphones to use this social media. And through social media, the dissemination of information takes place at a rapid rate, at a rapid speed. You can quickly share personal information, documents, movies, photos, pics and so on. Right? Done? And recently that government has banned TikTok. You remember? Government has banned TikTok app, right? If you look at the statistics at present across the world, approximately 3.8 billion people uses social media. 3.8 million people are using the social media. So therefore you can understand the volume, you can understand the importance of social media, right? So therefore what they are using all the social networks. What is a Facebook? Facebook is nothing but a social network site, social networking site, right? Okay. Now you have developed the understanding about social media. Now let us move to our subject area concern, that what is the impact of social media on, what is the impact of globalization on social media. You see, globalization, if I ask you in a simple term, what is a globalization? Globalization implies transfer of ideas. Am I right or wrong? Globalization is nothing but transfer of ideas. In a simple way, I can say this. Globalization is nothing but a transfer of ideas, culture, and social media is an instant and democratic means of information dissemination. And social media, please use this word, instant and democratic. Instant and democratic means of dissemination of information. Dissemination of information. Right? You see, you need to understand that earlier people were struggling to get information, and in contemporary times are the times of that plethora of information is available. At one click, you can have hundred of websites will open on your computer, on your laptop, or your iPad. Therefore, today's time we are witnessing a different kind of problem. We are witnessing the problem of plethora of information is available. Therefore, it becomes important for us to decide which information specifically we are searching for, which information is authentic, which information is credible, which content is appropriate. Therefore, we need to select that. And social media, as I've already explained to you, is an instant and democratic process of dissemination of information. For example, today millions of youngsters, even everyone, boy, girl, man, women, old, everyone is using Facebook. Facebook is not Facebook is not having. Okay. Bishwajit is saying, sir, please dictate slowly and speak twice and give time for complete the sentence. I'm unable to write. Okay, Bishwajit, we will take into consideration your point and I'll try to repeat it. Okay, so that you can note it down. Now let us understand why we have used this concept that social media is an instant and democratic way of the dissemination of information. Instant because it is electronic, it is based on electronics, it is based on software. The moment you the moment you post any comment on Twitter, everything, it is visible to the entire world in a fraction of second. When you are accessing your Facebook account is not making any differentiation on the basis of caste, creed, race or religion or your gender. Therefore, whatever information that you can share on your FB page, that is yours information. Nobody is judging. Technology or the company is not judging you or what is your pedigree, what is your historical or cultural background, what is your biological significance. Nobody is talking about it. Therefore, social media is an instant and the democratic means of the dissemination of information. Right? Now, there and social media is relatively free from the influence of government. This is another important point that you need to understand. That social media is relatively free from the government interference. As you can see, there is a lot of government interference in other modes of media, but in social media, the government presence is very less. Therefore, you have witnessed that due to the social media, you are witnessing in incidents such as Arab Spring Revolution. Arab Spring Revolution. You have witnessed just now in Arab Spring Revolution is the outcome of the activity on social media. Is the outcome of the activity on social media, right? Because during Arab Spring, Facebook and Twitter were used for the mobilization of people, right? Similarly, many companies and entrepreneurs are using the social media platform to build a brand and the promotion of their products. Therefore, social media is helping us to overcome the geographical barriers. Done? I think all of you are getting this point. Now let us understand the how we can summarize the impact of globalization on social media. You see, the newspapers, magazines, internet and TV has immensely helped to spread information, has helped to spread information, and as a result, it also helped people to come together from all over the world, right? And it is the impact of globalization that today, because Facebook is from which company? Facebook is from America. App, Facebook is from America. WhatsApp is from America. All this social networking, majority of the social networking sites are from US, and they're doing an overwhelming business in India, right? Therefore, it is the impact of globalization that social media has become a very bigger phenomena in across India, length and breadth. Even in the rural areas, the young students, young generation is hooked to the social media. Today, whenever you are going out with your family, you are moving to any other place, immediately you see people used to share their status, and they will pick up photo, and they will post it on the Facebook, that we are having dinner here, we are here, and all that. All these things you are witnessing it. Write down a few lines on this. Social media, social media helps to reveal the news of people misery so that concerned authorities can take necessary steps. For example, we have seen there is a one incident in which in the early hours of morning, one person was moving from Noida and he saw a young boy running on the roads, and he stopped his car and he inquired from him that you are running at 4 o'clock, what are you doing? And the boy replied that I used to work in a small tea stall, at a small tea stall in some sector in Noida, and I'm preparing for national defense, I'm preparing from army selection board so that I can be selected in any army job. And the person who asked all these questions to him, he shared the story of this young boy on the Twitter account. And later on, the army has taken cognizance of this matter, and lot of people have taken cognizance of this matter. And as a result, it created a storm on the social media that early in the early hours of morning, this particular boy is waking up and doing racing, exercising to qualify for the army selection, and after that, that boy is working on the roadside, tea stall. So that has created a lot of awareness and attention about his cause, and ultimately, Indian Army has to give a statement that we will do the necessary for this boy. Therefore, in contemporary times, social media is playing a very important, role, very important role in the dissemination of information and creating a perspective among the minds of the people. As you have seen, we are witnessing violence in Haryana on the lines of communal tension. How all these rumors are spreading among people? All these rumors are going through the WhatsApp chats. Today, in the morning, the moment you wake up, you will find, so many WhatsApp messages are there in the phone the moment you check it. Today, WhatsApp, Wi-Fi, FB, Instagram, they have occupied our personal space. These social networking sites, or I can say social media, has become a part and parcel of our life. Without them, we cannot even think that we can sustain, right? And how the social media is influenced by globalization. How suddenly people are wearing brands such as Tommy, Calvin Klein, right? Your Marks and Spencer. People are aware of all these things. Why? Through the social media. When people are posting, and where companies are utilizing this social media platforms for spreading awareness about their brands. When you are searching Facebook, or when you are searching any website, they are using the artificial intelligence, they are using the data collection techniques and so on to understand what you are looking for, and on the basis of that, they are making information to you. This you must have seen. If you are searching for something in Amazon, or if you are doing something on FB, the next time you will get the same related news bites from the same social media platforms or the Amazon. Why? Because they want to judge your behavior, they want to judge your idea, they want to judge your mindset. Done? So write down. Globalization has completely transformed. Globalization has completely transformed the process and spreading. Completely transform the process, spreading, dissemination of information in the society through social media. Through social media, right? Up now you need to understand, sir, that is fine. Dissemination information is taking place. There is a social networking is providing us. If I'm working in Delhi, my parents are in Netherlands. So they can come to know about my movement the moment they access to my FB where I'm. If I post that to yesterday I went for a dinner and all that. But what is the negative point? The negative point that I need to discuss with you is that the globalization has created an element of commercialization. That globalization has created an element of commercialization. Has creating an element of commercialization. Today, all the news channels are running for the TRPs. They are running for the TRPs. Why news channels are running for the TRPs? So that on the basis of that TRP, they can boost that our serial, our news, our program is much widely watched by larger population. Based on that, they can get lot of advertising offers. Lot of companies will give them advertisements, and as a result, their revenue share will increase. Therefore, this rapid globalization and the outcome of globalization, that is commercialization of social media also, is resulting in a mad race among each other for grabbing more and more people's attention and diverting from their social objective. What is the social objective of the social media or the media? The objective of the media is to do unbiased reporting. Why FB was launched? The real concept for the launching of FB so that it will create connectivity among each other. Because we are living in the modern times, we are living in the nuclear family, right? Your one brother is working in Bangalore, another brother is staying with the parents, sister is married in London. We have this kind of families, right? Now how they can keep connect with each other? Through the use of FB. That was the thing. But today, FB, Twitter, Instagram, instead of creating a social networking site and making us more social, these social media is creating an element of isolation in ourselves. Today, the moment you go to any home, you will see people are busy on doing typing, people are busy on chatting, people are spending more time on the phone instead of talking to each other. Therefore, the social media is grabbing, it is encroaching on our personal space. Today, we are spending more time on our smartphones instead of reading a book. Today, a new concept has emerged, audiobooks. Even if you don't have time, no need to read a book. There is a Cuckoo FM concept is there, Cuckoo FM books, right? You can simply download the app and you can hear the book. Therefore, where this technology will lead to us, that is the most important point. These are the side effects of globalization and its impact on social media. Is it right, Anil? Write it down. Increase in commercialization, increase in commercialization has forced many news channels, has forced many news channel to present news in a way people would like to watch. In a way people would like to watch. Therefore, this practice distorts, distorts the very objective of the news channel. This practice distorts the very objective of the news channel. That is, to present news in an unbiased manner. Therefore, this practice is responsible for the emergence of, please write down this word, this is a very important word, is called yellow journalism. Yellow journalism. Underline this word, yellow journalism. Therefore, yellow journalism is the outcome of the impact of globalization on media or social media, right? This led to the emergence of yellow journalism or, comma, paid media or paid media, right? For example, just one day or 2 days back, there is a one newspaper in North India having a larger circulation, Dainik Jagran. In that newspaper, on the front page, there was a news in Hindi newspaper that Indian Army has attacked Pakistan Army. There is a surgical strike on Pakistan by Indian Army. When later on people check this news, it turns out to be a fake news, that it was a fake news. And Indian Army denied it. Indian Army said, no, we have not done any surgical strike in the last 2-3 days. Therefore, this world of media is giving to the yellow journalism, paid media concepts are emerging, where fake news, why fake news is created? Fake news is created to create sensation, to catch attention, to gather more number of viewers for their program. So therefore, in a short run, they are resorting to all this malpractices instead of focusing on the content, authenticity of the news. Therefore, you are seeing a bitter rivalry taking place between different news channels. So, this is the negative side of the social media or media, right? Now, move to another point, you can write it down, that cinema is facing challenges from this digital revolutions. Cinema is facing challenges from this digital revolution, such as OTT platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and so on. Right? Is it okay, Mr. Anil Kumar Rai? Now it is fine. Please reply. I am waiting for your answer. You see, one of the student, I think, let me see, one of the student has asked me a question on the data localization, right? One of the student has asked, can I rub this? Students, can I rub all this? Can I rub it? Please tell me. Let me see why it is not showing me. Yeah, clear. Okay. One of the student has asked me a question, sir. What is the concept of data localization? Very good. Data localization. What is the concept of data localization? Okay, write it down first. Data localization means storing the data on any device which is physically present inside the boundaries of a country. This idea is known as data localization. And data localization, why this concept data localization has become important, because this idea of data localization is in the news due to the data protection bill, due to the data protection bill which government is bringing. In the data protection bill, government has emphasized on data localization, which implies storing data on any device. On any device means it can be laptop, it can be your iPad or your smartphone But this has to be in the four walls of your nation, or within your country, or you can write within your country. That is why it is called as data localization. You see, students, sometimes I say the one sentence in two different ways. Therefore, you are having this choice to write the first one or the second one. Both sentences are right. Okay. Therefore, this is called data localization. There is a one important committee also which you should know, because you have asked this, VN Shri Krishna committee. VN Shri Krishna committee. It may ask you in your prelims exam. VN Shri Krishna committee. Write it down. VN Shri Krishna committee VN Shri Krishna committee suggested suggesting the processing of data should be done domestically. Right? Done. I think this is enough explanation. Done. Can we move on to the next part? Done. Okay, write it down. Increase in commercialization has forced many news channels to present news in a way people would like to watch, which distorts the very objective of the news channels. That is, they need to present unbiased news to the world. Therefore, This leads to the emergence of the concepts of yellow journalism or paid media. Cinema is also facing challenges from the digital revolution such as OTT, which includes Netflix, Hotstar, Amazon Prime and so on, right? Now I am coming to the concept of impact of globalization in the political sphere. This point is clear. Anyone is having any doubt? Now I am coming to the impact of globalization in political sphere. Political sphere, right? Write it down. Let me check. Political sphere. You see, the biggest outcomes of globalization, the biggest outcome of globalization, the biggest outcome the biggest outcome of globalization is the internationalism, is the internationalism is the internationalism right, which led to the rise of importance of international organizations, which led to the importance of international organizations plus NGOs. NGOs are also becoming very important. NGOs such as Amnesty International. NGOs such as Amnesty International. Therefore, these concepts led to the universalization of right. What universalization of? This led to the universalization of non-discrimination, equality, that we all strive to achieve equality in our society, and rule of law and accountability. This is a very important. You see how this concept of citizen charter, it is given in your citizen charter. For example, concepts such as citizen charter, concepts such as of good governance, right? Concepts such as of PIL, public interest litigation. From where this idea of citizen charter, good governance, this public interest litigation, PIL, idea of serving the people, customer is the most important asset for any multinational company. From where they are getting all these ideas? Okay, I'm coming to it. Okay, Anil asking a question. Okay, therefore you need to understand that the idea of citizen charter has emerged in UK. somewhere in 1998. The idea of good governance is basically the outcome of World Bank conditions. The very basic concept of good governance is coming from the practices of World Bank. PIL was influenced from America. Therefore, this is the outcome of the impact of globalization. That today in India, people are also becoming aware of their rights. People are also becoming aware of their rights, and they are asking accountability from the government. They are asking for transparency, and in the line of all these things, you are seeing RTI, Right to Information Act. You can see social audit is gaining currency in India. Social audit. Therefore, what are these initiatives? All these initiatives and all these are the subtopics of your GS paper 2, that is your social justice governance part. If you look at citizen charter, good governance, your RTI, the concept of social audit, from where all these things are coming? These are the outcome of the impact of globalization on the political sphere of society, because now you are exposed to different ideas. Today, I have seen young students. Whenever I used to go to Delhi University, I'm seeing students are reading Murakami. Murakami is a Japanese author. People are reading Paul Coelho. Paul Coelho was a Brazilian author, and his very famous book, The Alchemist. What is the essence of Alchemist? What Alchemist? What is the central idea of that book, Alchemist? That is follow your dream. Therefore, this is called internalization of our values. Today, government of India uh, is talking about less government, more governance. Less government, more governance. You need to become more responsive to the needs of people. In achieving this objective, citizen charter is coming. Am I right or wrong? Therefore, this is the idea of impact of globalization on the political sphere in India. And the biggest outcome of globalization, as I've written, is internationalization. And internationalization led to the rise of important international organizations and including NGOs. For example, Amnesty International is doing a very good work, right? There are a lot of NGOs who are involved in the developmental work, right? And this leads to the universalization of the concepts such as equality, rule of law, accountability, transparency, non-discrimination, gender equality. Today, our relationships are becoming very gender equal nowadays, especially. That is why I often say that present generation is more and much more better, effective and efficient than previous generation. Today, you youngsters, the future of this country, are much more aware. Today, I am surprised when I am taking classes in KSD, I am seeing students studying in second year, third year. They are making up their mind for civil services. They are coming and attending classes. But if I compare this with my timings, I was not even having the clarity of thought when I was doing my engineering. I never thought that I want to be an IAS officer. My idea was to get into IIT. I will go to IIT. I will go to, after completing my BTech, I will go to abroad, and I went to abroad. Then after that, I will settle down. I will take a green card. I was not clear what I am basically looking for. What is my objective? What is my aspiration? What I am made out? What are the things that can give much more peace to me? And after doing so many things, then at the age of 28, I came to know that now I have to sit for civil service. In my time, I haven't come across a single boy or girl in my class who is less than 24 or 25. But today, I am seeing that in present generation is much more aware. They have much more exposure, and they are much more better able to decide the career path of their life. And that is the reason you are witnessing that more youngsters are coming into civil services, because they have given the thought about their career at a very young age. Therefore, all these are nothing but the reflections of impact of globalization. Today, I have already given you the example, our education is becoming more competitive. More universities now. IIT Madras is opening campus in IITs are opening campus in abroad. IIT Delhi is opening campus in abroad, right? And foreign companies are also going to come, and they will also start working in India. Therefore, you are seeing a lot of rapid changes will take place in our education system also, right? Is this point clear to you guys? Clear? Just write down 2 lines on this. It has helped, globalization has helped in improving the public policies of the government. Globalization has helped in improving the public policies of the government. For example, you remember that Lokpal bill, Lokpal Act inspired from the ombudsman of Scandinavian countries. You please write it down. This is very important. May I rub this? Please tell me. May I rub this? Okay. The Lokpal Act is inspired from the concept of ombudsman of Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries, right? But on the other side, of the coin, globalization has increased the influence of international organizations such as IMF, World Bank, which are indirectly interfering in the internal policies of the nation, which are indirectly interfering in the internal policies of the nation, which is challenging the concept of sovereignty, which is challenging the concept of sovereignty, right? Globalization is also responsible for in, globalization is also responsible for the increased role of NGOs, Yes, I'm coming to this point. Anil, I'm coming to this point. Globalization has also increased the role of NGOs, and many organizations influenced by other nations has been involved in various spurious activities in India. For example, a recent report by Intelligence Bureau about Greenpeace and other organizations. I repeat it again. Globalization has increased the role of non-governmental organizations, but many of these organizations are influenced by other nations, and they are involved in various spurious activities in India. For example, report by Intelligence Bureau about Greenpeace and other organizations. You see, there are certain NGOs which are funded by foreign nations, and they are creating hue and cry, demonstrations, spreading rumors against the developmental initiatives taken by the government of India for the benefit of its people. Let me give an example. We are the growing. We are now. I think by 2025, India will overcome China also in terms of population. Therefore, to meet this huge population, India requires development, and to meet that development, we require huge amount of energy. Therefore, to meet our energy demands, it is important for us to focus on nuclear energy. But there are certain NGOs who are on behalf of that foreign nations fund foreign nations. They are protesting against government and creating a wrong picture in the minds of people. For example, we have seen in Kundankulam, protest against Kundankulam, right? Okay, okay, clear? I think this point is clear. Now let us move to another important concept that I want to bring here. I think it is clear to all of you. Please tell me. One very important question that is asked by this one student. I want to answer this question. Who is that student? Anal. Yeah. Anal has asked a very important question that India has brought information technology. Okay, fine. Okay, let us discuss. In February 2022, government has notified. In February 2022, government has notified. इसको लिखो the information. Government has notified in February. This is important. It may come in your exam. Government has notified in February 2022 information technology. Write it down. Information technology intermediary guidance. Intermediary guidance. Intermediary guidance and digital media and digital media ethics code. Ethics code, right? Ethics code rules, right? Write it down. I think all of you have written this. In February 2022, Government of India has notified information technology intermediary guidance and digital media ethics code rules, right? What does it mean? What is the essence? What is the central idea of these rules? The central idea of this rule is to regulate OTT, is to regulate OTT, is to regulate OTT. What OTT? To regulate OTT platforms. Write it down. The central idea, the essence of this rules is to regulate OTT bill. Right? It is basically a three-tier check. It is basically a three-tier check. It includes three-tier check for the write it down. It includes a three-tier check for the regulation of OTT, right? Now, let us start from the basic, okay? First of all, tell me what is OTT? But let us start from the very basics. What is OTT? OTT implies over the top. OTT, what is the definition of OTT? Over the top. Write it down. And you also need to develop the background. What was the background? What was the context? Why this particular initiative is initiated by the government? That is also very important. If you don't know the context, then your answer cannot be proper. Write it down. OTT, that is over the top platforms, are basically audio and video, audio, comma video hosting and streaming services which started as content hosting platforms, but later on they converted into production. And in the later on converted into production and release of short movies, documentaries, web series, and so on. At present, the market size is around 4,000 crore. And India, according to one estimate, India is going to have, according to one survey, India is going to have 17 crore OTT platform users. 17 crore OTT platforms users. Now you can understand the importance of OTT, and this number is going to increase. This number is not going to decrease. You remember there was a time when only Netflix entered in India, which created a sensation. At present, how many OTT platforms are there? Can anyone help me? Nimai, Anal, Vishwajit. How many? You are having Netflix, you are having Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and lot of, so many OTTs are coming, right? Therefore, you need to understand the importance of OTT platforms. And the survey which I am quoting is of 2019. In 2019, they are saying that there are 17 crore OTT platform users, and today is 2023. So this number would have increased a lot, and this number is going to increase exponentially. And OTT platforms, and in contemporary times, people and especially the youngsters are more interested to watch web series instead of watching movies. Done? Write it down. There are 3 checks. Write it down. There are 3 checks for OTTs. There are 3 checks for the OTT. Number 1, regulatory mechanism, that is grievance redressal by the company itself. Number 1 is regulatory in nature, that is grievance redressal mechanism by the company. For example, if you are not satisfied, or you have some problem with the content shown by the company, you can directly complain in the grievance redressal cell of the company. Step 2, it involves Press Council of India. Step 2, it involves Press Council of India, which will be headed by retired judge of a high court or the Supreme Court. If your problem does not resolve here, then you can move on to the second step, that is called Press Council of India. It will be a regulatory body for the OTT, and this Press Council of India will be headed by a retired Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge. And third tier, it comprises of interministerial committee. Please underline this word. Third tier, it consists of interministerial committee which will be headed by a joint secretary officer level, which will be headed by a joint secretary level officer from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. From the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, right? Okay. This is a three-tier mechanism incorporated in this particular bill for the regulation of OTT platforms. Done. At present, there are 40 OTT platforms operating in India. Please underline this word. At present, there are 40 OTT platforms operating in India. Next important initiative taken by the government of India about this OTT is that all the online platforms were told to register with the ministry. All the OTT platforms were told to register with the ministry. It implies what is the initiative? Sorry, what is the interpretation of this step? When the OTT platforms are going for the registration, what does it imply? It implies that all the platforms have to apply for the certification and approval of the content they wish to stream. Understand that this is a very important point. Therefore, all the OTT platforms needs to be registered at the ministry. It implies that these platforms need to apply for certification and approval of the content they wish to stream. So this is all about this important bill, and this is a crux. I think I have given you the enough, more than sufficient information which can be asked in the exam, right? Clear? Done? Anil Kumar Roy, now you are happy your question is answered? Clear? Done? Anil, can I move on to the next one? Done? Please tell me, is this point clear to you? Now come to the next important one, that is your judiciary. How globalization has impacted the judiciary. Write it down. Now the next point, so far we have discussed about the polity. Now the next is your, I will repeat it again because this is a very important rules which may come in your examination. OTT means over the top. At present, how many OTTs are there? 40 OTT. Recently, government has introduced this bill. It has three-tier mechanism for regulation. Number one, there should be a grievance redressal by the company. Number one. Number two, Press Council of India, which is headed by a High Court or Supreme Court judge. Number third, interministerial committee, which will be headed by a joint secretary rank officer of the Ministry of Information and Communication. And next most important, that all the OTT platforms are required to be registered at the ministry, so that they need to apply for the certification of their content which they want to stream. This is the crux of this information technology. This is the crux of this information technology intermediary guidance and digital media ethics code rules. If you have mentioned this thing, you are going to get marks. Done? I think this is clear. Now let us move on to the next one. Now the next part that I want to discuss with you is the judiciary. What is the impact of globalization? What is the impact of globalization? And I will try to bring as much topics as possible so that you won't feel that this particular topic which is not taken care of, and I will try to do comprehensive coverage so that UPSC may ask from any of the topic and you are able to answer it. Okay, write it down. Write it down. Globalization is making an impact. Globalization is making an impact on the judicial system of India. Number one, it is providing opportunities to lawyers. It is providing opportunities to lawyers in India to learn more professionalism, intricacies of contract and intellectual property laws. Number two, it also helps in improving the overall legal education in the country. For example, enactment of Arbitration and Conciliation Act in 1986. Written, I'm not getting responses from you guys. Where are you? Are you there? Number one, it provides opportunities to lawyers in India to learn about more professionalism, intricacies of contract and intellectual property laws. Point number two, it also helps in improving the overall legal education in the country. For example, enactment of Arbitration and Conciliation Act in 1986. Point number third, it has helped in reducing delays and benefited the clients through trade in legal services. Clear? Clear? Can I move on? I'm not getting any response from your side, students. Are you there? I'm not receiving any response. Is it okay? Guys, are you able to hear me? Spandan is saying present. I am not able to get. Are you done with whatever I have dictated to you? Okay, Spandan is responding. What about others? Now let me bring another important topic, that is education. Now bringing another important topic, education. Write it down. Okay, let me repeat it again for you. So you can just pin me wherever you are lacking. I request my students to pin me. If you are not able to complete a sentence or you have not written, just pin me. Okay. Because you see, I am teaching you the way we used to teach in our class. And that is the standard procedure that we need to treat as I'm teaching in my class, and that is the reason I'm focusing more on explanation part and explaining you and writing on the board. Otherwise, I can easily use the PPTs also, but that becomes very monotonous. Therefore, whenever you are lacking, please pin me, sir. Repeat it again. I will immediately repeat it again for you. Okay. Now, write it down. We were at judicial. Globalization is making impact. Globalization is making impact on our judicial system also. There is globalization of there is globalization of commercial as well as contract laws. There is a Please underline this. This is a very important line. I'm adding this new line. Earlier I didn't use this. There is globalization of commercial as well as contract laws in addition to the public laws. There is a globalization of commercial as well as contract laws in addition to the public laws. Because international firms have increased their presence, international firms has increased their presence and providing services in India. Clear? Because international firms have increased their presence and are providing services in India. Number one, it is providing opportunities to lawyers in India. It is provide, but which it is implies globalization. Globalization is providing opportunities to lawyers in India to learn more about professionalism, intricacies of contract and intellectual property laws. To learn more professionalism, intricacies of contract and intellectual property laws. It also helps in improving the overall legal education in the country. It also helps in improving the overall legal education in the country. For example, enactment of Arbitration and Conciliation Act in 1986. Done? Now all of you have written or still there are gaps? I'm waiting for you guys, or you want me to repeat once more, or it is clear? Please reply. I'm waiting for a reply, guys. Done. Oh, okay, Anirvan is replying. Thank you very much, Anirvan. Now let us discuss education. What is the impact of globalization on education? Globalization has impacted education around the world in many important ways. Globalization has impacted globalization has impacted education around the world in many important ways. Globalization has impacted education around the world in many important ways. Number one, due to the availability of study books and information on the internet, due to the availability of study books and information on the internet, due to globalization has increased tremendously, which allows students to read on any topic of interest, which allows student to read on any topic of interest. Number two, globalization has increased the access to quality education, provides an opportunity to individuals towards higher social status and mobility. For example, collaboration between foreign and Indian universities are taking place. Between foreign and Indian universities are taking place. Done? Now, I think it is not now clear to you. Now let us move on to the another important thing, that is globalization and public health. Now the next topic that I want to bring is globalization and public health. Write it down. Globalization and public health. What is the health infrastructure in India? Anyone? What is the public health infrastructure in India? Do you know? You see, at village level, we are having PSCs. Which is known as primary healthcare centers. They are known as primary healthcare centers, right? And then they have developed the at district levels. We are having village level, district level. We are having district hospitals. In between, at block level, we are having community health centers, that is called CHC. One is PHC, primary healthcare center. Second is community health center. And then at district level, we are having district hospitals. And then in state capitals, we are having specialist hospitals, or you can say big hospitals, and then institutions of national importance, in medical sciences, such as, which are super specialist. This is called super specialist hospitals, such as AIMS. Then you have Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences, PIMS, in Chandigarh, Lucknow, right? Then you have institutions such as Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Postgraduate Medical, ZIPMA, right? Therefore, this is the public health infrastructure in India. At village level, you are having primary health center where you are having a one doctor and a nurse. And PSC can take care of smaller ailments. And then at block level, you are having community health centers. Then at district level, you are having your district hospitals, where you are having CMOs. They are called, it is headed by CMOs, chief medical officers. And then in the state, you are having the big hospitals, right? And then even if you have a problem which is not even addressed in the state hospitals, state capital hospitals, then you will be referred to the institutions of national importance in medical sciences, such as AIMS, Postgraduate Institute of Medical Science and Research, like Chandigarh, Lucknow. It is also in Delhi. Ram Manohar Lohia Postgraduate Institute of Medical Science and Research, like your Indian Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences. Specialized institutions which are specialized, right? Then you will refer to that. Therefore, this is the health infrastructure in India. Please write it down. Please note it down clearly. Done. This is the clear. I am just coming to the side. Please write it down quickly. All of you have done this. This is the infrastructure, public health infrastructure in India. And now we want to discuss about the impact of globalization on health. Impact of globalization on health. You see, you write it down. In the 1950s, the main public health problems used to be communicable diseases. In the 1950s, the main public health problems used to be non-communicable diseases. While in 21st century, we are facing the problem of non-communicable diseases, but in developing countries such as India, we are having multiple burdens. We are having multiple burdens of non-communicable diseases, communicable diseases, new infections, re-emerging diseases, such as TB, okay? Such as TB. Done. Due to globalization, due to globalization, international organizations are complementing international organizations are complementing national governments to solve health issues. I'll come to your question. I'll come to your question, Bishrit. First, write it down this, then I'll discuss your question. Due to globalization, the international organizations are complementing national organizations to solve health issues. Due to this, there has been increase. Due to this, there has been increase in accessibility to hospitals, accessibility to hospitals because of opening up of many private hospitals, because of opening up of many private hospitals such as Fortis, Max, Apollo, and so on, such as Fortis, Max, Apollo, and so on. Done? All of you have written this. New focus is on new focus is on range of telemedicine tools such as telediagnostic and teleradiology. A renewed focus on range of telemedicine tools such as telediagnostics and teleradiology, in addition to medical consultation through traditional and electronic channels. In addition to medical consultation through traditional and electronic channels, electronic channels. Written? Clear this point? Due to globalization, patients can travel abroad to receive health care or use certain facility. As a result of this, medical tourism has seen a rapid rise. Medical tourism has seen a rapid rise, especially in countries such as India, especially in countries such as India, where medical treatment is relatively cheap, unlike many Western countries. Unlike many Western countries, FDI in health sector has brought new technology. FDI in health sector has brought new technology and practices that has improved social gradient of health in India. Clear? All of you have written, or you want me to repeat it again? FDI in health sector has brought new technology and practices that has improved social gradient of health in India. Patients can travel abroad to receive health care or use certain facilities. Due to this, medical tourism has seen a rapid rise, especially in countries like India, where treatment is relatively cheaper. Unlike many Western countries, the quality of research and treatment has gone up, as evident by the foreign companies in India. There is more focus on telemedicine tools such as telediagnostics and teleradiology, in addition to medical consultation through traditional and electronic channels. There is a phenomenal increase in accessibility to hospitals because of opening up of private hospitals. For example, Fortis, Max and Apollo. I think this is clear to all of you. Can I move ahead or you want me to repeat it again, or anyone who has not completed, please let me know. I am waiting for your reply and I will not move until and unless each and every concept is clear to all of you and you have written all the notes. Vishwajit is asking me a question, sir, why medical tourism growing in South India much more rather than North India? You see, I want to take this question in a different way, that medical tourism is exponentially increasing in India. If you visit any uh, hospital in Delhi, for example, such as BL Kapoor, Max Saket, Gangaram, Apollo, you will see that there are lot of foreign nationals coming to Delhi and getting treated, because in India the cost of treatment is very cheap in comparison to the European or any other country, and secondly you are getting much far better medical facilities at a lesser price. And as far as South India and North India is concerned, South India is having a leverage over North India because the first Apollo hospital came up in Madras, right? You have that Dr. Devi Shetty's Hridayalaya hospital in Bangalore, Shankar Netralaya. So there are certain good chain of hospitals which are, or there are certain good chain of hospitals of national importance in South India. And secondly, as you know, majority of South Indians, especially from Telugu, Keralites, they are in the Gulf. They can create a mouth-to-mouth publicity, and that is the reason that a lot of people are coming to South India in comparison to North. But North is also picking up, right? North is also picking up. This point is clear to everyone. Kindly reply. I am waiting for your answer. Vishwajit, is it okay? Tell me. If you don't reply, then I won't move on. I'm still waiting, because you see, nowadays Chennai is coming up in medical tourism. Done? Clear. After so much time, I got your response here. Okay, now let us move to another important topic, that is impact of globalization on agriculture. Write it down. Impact of globalization on agriculture. This is also very important. UPSC may ask question on this, because in the past we have seen that there were a lot of farm protest bills. So there is a possibility that UPSC may ask the globalization and its impact on Indian agriculture. So now the next topic that I want to discuss with you is agriculture. Write it down. Globalization and its impact on agriculture. Now the next topic that I want to bring is globalization and its impact on agriculture. And its impact on agriculture. Write it down. You see, globalization has led to globalization has led to substantial changes in the composition. Globalization has led to substantial changes in the composition. देखो, write it down. Globalization has brought substantial changes in the composition from from basic food to export of expect export of food to export of food. You can write, or you can write it commodities, commodities is a better option, or commodities, right? Done. Now write it down. Number 1, hybrid seeds, sprinkler irrigation, hybrid seeds and sprinkler irrigation ये कहाँ से आया है? From where it has come? It has introduced due to the globalization, and these two technologies are responsible for increasing the production of our food grains. Production of food grains increased, right? Introduction of GM, genetically modified, right? Introduction of GM, that is genetically modified food crops, genetically modified food crops such as GM mustard, right? Developments in the field of biotechnology, development in the fields of biotechnology are responsible for increasing the productivity of our food grains, right? And most important, there is a shift in production, there is a shift in mode of production. What kind of shift? From feudal to capitalist. From feudal, you can write a note on that, that would be much better. Is this clear to you guys? Just note it down. How globalization is making an impact on our agriculture. We have seen the use of hybrid high yielding variety seeds. We have seen in sprinkler irrigation. all this technology is the manifestation of globalization. We are witnessing production of genetically modified food crops are coming. We are witnessing that more biotechnological inputs we are using in agriculture, that is creating more productive production, increasing the production level of our food grains. All these are the impact of globalization on agriculture. Write it down. There is a change. There is a change in the mode of production. There is a change there is a change in the mode of production from feudal to capitalist production. From feudal to capitalist. So what is the idea of capitalist production? What do you mean by, can I remove this? I am saying that there is a shift in mode of production. There is a shift in the mode of production. What kind of shift? From feudal to capitalist. When I am saying capitalist, feudal to capitalist, what does it means? It implies production for market. Production for market. And earlier we are doing production for the sustenance. Production for the sustenance level only. Production on sustenance level only. Therefore, the biggest impact of globalization on agriculture, that a shift has taken place in the mode of production from feudal to capitalist mode of production, which implies production for the market. In states such as Punjab and Karnataka, farmers are directly entering into contracts. This also I write it down. Farmers are directly in states such as Punjab and Karnataka. Farmers are directly entering into contracts with multinational companies such as Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Write it down. In states such as Punjab and Karnataka, farmers are directly entering into the contracts with multinational companies such as Pepsi or Coca-Cola. To grow certain crops, such as tomatoes and potatoes. Write it down. To grow crops such as potatoes and tomatoes. Done. What we call this system? This system is known as contract farming. What we call this system? We call the system as contract farming. Write it down. This kind of agriculture is known as contract farming. in which multinational companies are directly buying from the farmer, and they are establishing a contract among each other, and this is known as contract farming. This question may also come. You can expect a question from this. This is called contract farming system. Or you can write a one short note on contract farming also. May I rub this? May I rub this? Tell me quickly. I think I need to rub this then so that we can write on contract farming. I repeat it again, Punjab and Karnataka, where farmers are directly entering into contracts with multinational companies such as Pepsi or Coca-Cola to grow certain crops such as tomatoes or potatoes. This is basically called contract farming system. This is basically called contract farming system, which is one of the essential features of the globalization and its impact on agriculture, right? Now, let us moving to the another part. Now, under contract farming system, you can write 2 lines on that. Under contract farming system, the companies are providing, under contract farming system, the company first identify, companies identify the crop, first step is company will identify the crop. Second, they will provide, write it down, they will provide seeds, or other inputs, and in some cases they are also providing the working capital. In some cases, they are also providing the working capital or the knowledge, imparting knowledge to farmers for better production, and imparting knowledge to farmers for better production. And then fourth, farmer is given assurance. That company will procure from him. Company will procure the product from the farmer at a predetermined price. This is very important. At a predetermined price. This contract farming clause was a bone of contention between the government and the farmers, which led to the national-wide farmer protest across India. Now, this is the positive point. What is the negative point of this? Now you see what is happening. It is a very good system, contract farming. Under a contract farming, a farmer is getting a predetermined price. There is a surety that the company will procure food crop from the farmer. Farmer is providing the knowledge. In some cases, they are also providing the working capital, as we have already mentioned. But what is the negative flip side of this contract farming? Write it down. The flip side of this contract farming is that number 1. May I rub this? All of you have written down? All of you have noted down the thing? May I rub this? Tell me quickly. Then we'll finish it off. May I rub this? I just come inside. Tell me quickly. I'm waiting for reply, guys. I want that you should keep talking to me. I don't want to hit a monologue. Several times I have said to you guys, if you like my teaching and if you feel that this concept is getting clear to you, this is a very important point. Contract farming, it may come in your examination also. And this is the idea of contract farming is coming out of the impact of globalization on agriculture. Clear? Now, what are the flip side? What is the flip side of contract farming? Let us understand this. Flip side of contract farming. Point number 1. Point number 1. As you see in this case, the farmers are becoming dependent on, number 1, farmers are becoming dependent on the company, right? Farmers are becoming dependent on the company for their livelihoods, which is not a good thing, for their livelihoods. So what will happen? It will create greater insecurity among the farmers. Greater insecurity among the farmers. Second most important, this contract farming system is basically focusing on export oriented food crops. Okay, therefore the other important export oriented food crops, such as you see they will focus on flour, they will focus on cotton and so on, right? And as a result, the agriculture land will be diverted. Agriculture land will be diverted from food grains. Therefore, there is a chance it will create a situation of food shortage in India. It will create shortage of food point in India. Food grain. It will decrease the production of food grain in India. Write it down. Done. Done. Another most important point. That is the one question is asked by one student is asking. I can discuss all this point, green box, amber box, blue box, but you will cover all these things in your economics when you are going to study World Trade Organization. Okay. But if you want, I can discuss, no issues about it. But you can better understand and discuss in detail when you are studying World Trade Organization in your economics. Okay. Another important point is that due to globalization in agriculture, farmers are forced to pay heavy price for better variety of imported seeds, having resistant to diseases because of the patent rights imposed by WTO. As highlighted by recent boil worm incident in case of cotton, you remember? Please write it down. Due to, of course, very good. It will create influence of season and scarcity of food grain in India. Absolutely right, Bishwajit. Another important point, due to globalization in agriculture, farmers are paying a heavy price for better variety of imported seeds, having resistance to diseases because of the patent rights imposed by WTO. Please write this point. Another point, that farmers are heavy price, paying heavy price for the imported seeds, which are resistant to diseases. And why these seeds are expensive? It is due to the why these seeds are is expensive due to the, tell me. Farmers are paying heavy price due to the patent rights imposed by WTO. This is a very important point. Another point is that, and recently the example, you can write it down, the boil incident. This was in the news, the boil incident in cottons. You can mention this. Abhi recently there was a one incident which was in the news. Can you connect that point? Recently that in Europe put a ban on the export of Alfonso mango. You know that? Europe put a ban on Alfonso mango. This was in the news. Can you connect here? Now I am connecting the news with your class notes. Can you connect it? Write it down. Indian farmers have not been able to export their products to rich countries. Indian farmers are not able to export their products due to rich countries because of the inferior technology and the stringent quality parameters imposed by foreign countries. For example, recently Europe banned on export of Alfonso from India. Therefore, the current protectionist policies adopted by various countries are decreasing the income of Indian farmers. And another important point that you can add is that the large scale suicide by Indian farmers in states such as Karnataka, Punjab and Haryana region is due to the burden of heavy loans. And these heavy loans are in direct correlation with globalization. Because due to this entry of multinationals which are selling which are involved in the agriculture inputs, and they are selling a very heavy price, high yielding variety of seeds, pesticide, fertilizer. Due to this expensive fertilizers and pesticide, the there is reduction in the profits of there is a reduction in the profit margins of the farmers, due to which the farmers are going into the trap of debt cycle, and that is creating a pressure on the nerve of the farmer. So therefore, this is a very important topic. I write it down here. You see what is happening. These multinational companies are coming into the agriculture inputs. What are the agriculture inputs? Your seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Now they are very expensive. They are expensive. Cost is very high. Now to procure this, the farmers are taking loans. Farmers are taking loans, and due to the high cost of this due to the high cost of this agriculture inputs as seeds, fertilizer, the profit margin of farmer is decreasing. Profit margin of farmer is decreasing, and as a result, farmer is coming in the debt trap. Farmer is coming in the debt trap. Therefore, the farmers are committing suicides in Karnataka, Punjab and Haryana, especially the cotton farmers. And in case if their consignment gets cancelled by the foreign nation, they are in a double trap, right? That is the point. This point needs to be mentioned in your notes. I hope students, you have developed a decent understanding. This is very important. There is a high possibility and probability that UPSC may ask question on the impact of globalization on agriculture. And if you are able to write this 3-4 points, you are going to hit the jackpot, right? Now we'll done. Therefore, today I stop my lecture at this point of time, and I hope you have noted down. And if you have any query, any doubt, please write. We will try to discuss all your doubts in the class itself. Okay. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you.